Like my money pure.
I said I like my money pure.
Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money.
Hey, what's going on, good people? I hope that everybody's been having an amazing weekend and started your week thus far. Today, we got a little special education for you today. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to teach you some of the challenges that the traditional education system has instilled in majority of us. If you went the route of the education system, which I believe majority of people do have to go that route, you do have to get educated or else the parents will go to jail. Isn't that odd? Here lately they've allowed different school systems to be built, but for the most part, majority of individuals go through the same education system, and whether you know that or not, it's kind of a problem. With putting limitations around the way that your mind thinks and operates and telling you to only think and operate this way could be pretty dangerous. But most importantly, this is the number one reason why a lot of you guys aren't able to experience the success that you know that you should be having. And hopefully, again, after today's lesson, you'll be able to take this away and, put that successful mindset on and take the action that you need to take, and it'll be untraditional. That's the thing about it. And majority of your millionaires out there who are in the high millions, not your couple $1 million. I know, I forget. Dave Ramsey always says your everyday millionaire. Well, I'm probably not talking about your everyday millionaire. I'm talking about the people who have succeeded millions. Chances are that they had to go outside of traditional methods, the traditional education flow that they've taught us in order to hit those type of numbers and experience that type of success. So again, hopefully today, after this segment here, you'll have some great nuggets to take away and run off with it. Now, what I will tell you is the information that I'm sharing with you guys today, it came from a book that I read a long time ago, and it completely, changed the way that my eyes seen things, the way that my ears started to hear things, the way that I could see and touch things, right? So if you want to get a deeper understanding of it, you can actually visit my website, travisknows.com. Scroll down to the bottom. You'll see the reading list there, and you'll see a book on the reading list called Weapons of Mass Instruction. And again, I'm a firm believer that if you want to do things that you've never done before, you can expedite it if you get someone who's already experienced that and has already been through it. So I was at a point in my life where, I'm saying things gotta be different. Like, I can't just keep going through the same path that my family has been going through year after year after year, generations after generations. It's honestly just a repeat cycle. And I wanted to seek new information. And the book, Weapons of Mass Instruction, was the place that I found the knowledge that I needed to allow my mind to understand that it's okay to be different. As a matter of fact, it's best to be different. It's best to think outside of this box, because if you have a mind that has been conformed to the way that society, that the education system has taught it to be, well, chances are you're not going to be able to experience that success before the man upstairs take you away. So again, today we're going to be breaking that down. We're here live each and every week, Tuesday through Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're on Tuesdays is our Dollars to Cents podcast, where we talk about business and the mindset. On Wednesdays, we talk government contracting. On Thursdays, we talk about softwares and tools. in particular SB Money Flow, that could help you take your business to the next level. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Share this live video out with 3 other entrepreneurs or business owners that you know need to hear this information so they can level themselves up as well. We've been able to continue to grow this channel, and it's growing because of each and every one of you all. If you are watching on live or if you're watching on replay, don't forget, we always put in the comments, I am a millionaire, because again, if you don't believe it, if you don't believe that you can think outside of the box of what the education system has created for us, then you're not going to be able to achieve it. So you really got to believe that when you're typing that in there. And last but not least, also take the opportunity to network. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Again, whether you're watching live or on replay, you never know who's watching and who may need your help or who you could partner with and work some things out here. Well, let's get ready to dive into this thing. If you guys have questions about anything that I go over, feel free to put them down in the chat. Again, a lot of this information that I'm going to be utilizing, I of course put a spin on it, from my experience, but a lot of the information that I learned came from the book Weapons of Mass Instruction. All right, now let's dive into this thing here. Now, first and foremost, we got to talk about the flaws of the traditional education system, because if you don't know what the problem is with the traditional education system, then chances are your mind won't allow for what I'm about to talk about to get an understanding of it. So let's dive into this. What does the traditional education system look like? Well, first and foremost, the traditional education system, it creates conformity. Again, I know you guys went to school. Y'all went to school just like I did. And here in today's time, it's actually getting a little bit worse because of all the violence and things that are going on. Well, what do they want? All the kids to wear the same uniform because of bullying, right? You can't have different shoes on because you may get bullied if your shoes are less than someone else's. I mean, guys, that's part of business. You know what I'm saying? Like these little things that, we try to take away because we want our society to be so soft. I mean, in the business world, in that success world, everybody's not going to wear the same clothes. I don't care if we're doing the exact same thing, right? We could all be working on cars. I can't have my thing look just like yours. We all can't be looking the exact same way. That's just not how that works. So once you start understanding that stuff, you go, hold on, wait a minute. Maybe I am conforming. Well, what else did it conform you to? It conformed your mind to listen to a bell. Ring, right? The mind is thinking, I just got to pump this out for 90 minutes and then we're going to switch classes and I'll be free. And all of a sudden, every single year, you just wait for the bell, right? Once you get the bell, it's free and things of that nature. So you're paying attention to the first bell to make sure you get into the classroom on time, because if I don't make it to that classroom on time, I'm in trouble. And next, you're waiting for the lunch bell because that's probably when you're going to, have some freedom. And then you're waiting for the bell at the end of the school day. Well, guys, whether you know it or not, this is the exact same situation in the prison system. That's why the book is called Weapons of Mass Instruction. The prison system wait for bells too. The school system wait for bells as well. So all of a sudden, once you get out of school, chances are you're still waiting for bells, but they're not there no more. So what do? You go seek the bell at a job. You wait for the job to tell you when to come to work. You wait for the job to tell you when you can take lunch. You wait for the job to tell you when you can get off work. And if you do have to do some overtime or something, well, it's like suspension. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, the way that we've been trained to think and operate is a problem. We've been trained to follow directions. Well, again, I'm telling you, there's no directions to success because we all are put on this earth in our own image. The man upstairs created everybody. So how can you tell me to follow the way that you want me to be when that ain't the way that the man upstairs created us? We all supposed to be our own individual people. So if you're training me to follow, I'll be scared to do my own thing. How do they train you to follow? Well, it starts in kindergarten. What do they say? We need a single file line. We will not move until your eyes can see the back of the person's head in front of you. Some of the schools I've seen them even make sure you hold their hands, which I get it. But guys, this keeps trickling. It doesn't just stop at kindergarten. It keeps happening. We keep getting trained to follow instead of create. And that is where the problem comes in. See, if you can't create, then you can't build wealth. How can you possibly build wealth if you don't know how to do it? See, let me give you another example. I will watch people on the internet complain about things that's going on in the world all day long. And they'll wake up tomorrow and complain about it all day again. And then all of a sudden, a year from now or something like that, a company comes out with a solution to the problem that they complained about. And guess what they say? Oh man, I thought of that first. Well, your ass didn't take no action. See, you didn't take no action because you've been trained to follow. You was waiting for the person that thinks outside of the box to come up with the solution so you could follow the directions on how to use the solution because you're too scared to do it on your own. Again, I'm giving y'all the keys to unlocking your potential. But in order to unlock your potential, you got to understand, we got to go back to the roots. The weapons of mass instruction. Why are we stuck this way? Why can America say, okay, this is the average income? Well, hell, you're training everybody to generate revenue. So it's real easy for you to say what the average income is. You got us on these jobs. Like our mindset has been completely controlled by the way that the education system brought us up. Hopefully, again, by today, we're going to knock all those myths out and we're going to start living a wealthy life. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, that subscribe button, share this video out with 3 other entrepreneurs as well so they can level up their mind. Now, the next thing is, how does the system limit your wealth though? Because, I mean, I believe that is a key, right? Again, I'm trying to educate you guys so when you leave off of this live, I don't want you guys to say, I'm going to listen to everything Travis said. Instead, I want you to start digging and do some more research. I want you to start thinking for yourself, right? You hear what I'm saying, but now you got to go seek it, right? I told you I seek the information. This is how I know about it. I told you the book that I read, Weapons of Mass Instruction. I wanted to become a better person. If you want to become a better person, you have to seek more information. So if you want more, I'm telling you the book, Weapons of Mass Instruction. Now, how does the system limit you guys? Guys, well, here's the thing. The traditional education system, guys, it often teaches us how to go work for somebody. Like, if you guys think about it, oops, that's the wrong one. I think it was. My bad. Got too much stuff up here. Too much stuff. The traditional education system, it teaches you how to work versus how to create. Now think about it. Every subject in the education system, it doesn't teach you how to create the business to the subject. It teaches you how to go work for somebody that created the business to the subject. Just pick one. I don't really care what subject it is. They're now trying to add some entrepreneurship stuff in there, but even the business classes, it teaches you like the legal and how to operate business, but it's teaching you how to go be a CEO or a CFO for somebody else's business. It doesn't teach you how to operate your own business. So if it's constantly teaching me how to go to work, I understand that there's always a cap. I don't care what job you give me the title and the zip code. I'll tell you what the cap is of how much that you can make. So if you're teaching me how to go to work for somebody, I know you're teaching me how to cap the value of myself. You've given me websites and you taught me that, I can go here and see what the median is. And then you say, hey, if I go get a little bit more educated with certifications, or if I go get the doctoral or the bachelor's, if I go back and get more education, I can make a small pivot up your grading scale, right? Because you created the value of the position. Like, again, I can't go above because market would say, well, nobody else is getting paid that amount of money for that job. The tradition is this job makes this amount. And that's what we all go to school for. Again, just ask somebody what their major is. I'm not making that stuff up. Opposed to if you were taught how to create, you could solve problems. Now, if you haven't watched my video on pricing, you will learn about value-based pricing, and it would make this a whole lot easier to understand when I'm talking about them teaching you how to work versus how to create. This is why you can't come up with value-based pricing, because you've constantly been taught that your value is a per hour value versus your value is how big of a problem can you solve. See, when you just solve small problems that get done per hour, well, you get paid like that. But when you solve bigger problems that require you to create the solution, well, there's no cap to that. I can create 5 solutions and charge $1 million each. I can create 50 solutions in the next 30 days. But when I go to work, I only got 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. 4,000 and some hours a year. They require me to take a vacation. If I don't, they're just going to take the money. See, all of this stuff has been taught and drilled into our mind. Now, the next thing of how the system limits your wealth and your success is there's no financial education. Guys, you can't send me somewhere and teach me how to do a task to make this thing called money that we all, every single person, I don't care who it is, we all got to utilize this thing called money, but yet there's no education behind it. Not only that, we've all been taught through the schooling system, if you want to become a better person in this society, because people will frown upon you, trust me, it's starting to change. Back in my day, when I first got started, it was definitely frowned upon. But if you don't take your ass to college, people will look down on you. Again, times are changing a little, right? But before, you had to go to school. Well, what is the problem with that? Well, if you guys go look at the college debt, them student loan debts, well, hold on, wait a minute. You taught me how to work. You never, ever taught me financial education, but you made me, before I was 18, guys, before you turn 18, you can't take no financial leaps on your own. Like, you can't, the odds of you going to go get some money on credit going to be slim to none. Getting credit cards could be slim to none unless your parents, do some things and whatnot. But they won't let you make a huge financial decision before the age of 18. But the first one that they don't even teach you about, they teach you how to go put $40,000 of debt in education and then give you a job that's only paying you $60,000 a year. Well, that was $40,000 a year in financial assistance that was needed through the education system. By the time you graduate, you over $100,000 in debt, but yet they taught you how to get a $50,000 job a year. You're never going to pay it off. It's impossible. But yet this is what they're teaching everybody to do through the education system. And guys, when I'm saying I'm talking government. They fight for it all the time. You seen them talking about the education system down in Florida. Instead of paying attention to what was really getting taught in the education system, the only thing they talked about was slavery being put into the education system. There's a whole lot more important factors into the education system. But again, that's not the way that they teach us to think. Instead, we just say, hey, well, education system was created when I was raised. I made it through. Everybody else could go through the same education system. I'm telling you, weapons of mass instruction. You got to watch out for it. It is a extremely dangerous game that they're playing with our minds. And again, my hope is that, hey, you could take this information once again and you can run off and do your own thing. You have to be willing to do your own thing with this. Again, if you guys got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I will get to it. The next thing you got to do is you got to be willing to unlearn traditional education, and you got to be willing to build a wealth system for yourself. Once again, you have to be willing to unlearn the traditional education system to build a wealth system. If not, we're not going to get there. I kind of explained it to you guys already, what will happen if we stay stuck in that mindset. So let's go. Education equals experience. It's not the school. It's not the professor sitting up there telling you that 2 + 2 = 4. It just doesn't work. This is why you're starting to see a lot of the bigger companies, guys. They're saying, hey, look, we really don't care about education no more. What is your experience? The other beauty about the times that we're in today when we're talking about experience is we're like in a technology era. You can experiment right now in your home. You don't have to wait for nobody. This is where I'm trying to tell you that traditional education system, it got your mind so messed up and screwed. You can't figure out how to move forward. Guys, with AI and technology, automations, all of this stuff, guys, every single business went working from home during the pandemic, majority of them. So that lets me know you can self-teach yourself a lot of things right now, and you can create the experience for yourself. You can go do some pro bono work if you need to for other people completely for free so you can get the experience, because the experience is the real education. It's not sitting there in a classroom. It's not sitting there waiting for a certification. Can you actually do the task? The task you doing is 10 times more valuable than a degree or a certification in today's time. I don't know. Maybe back in the day, it wasn't that valuable when I came up either. But again, my parents, they wouldn't have heard any of that I ain't going to school type stuff. I told you it was frowned upon in the black community not to go to college. It's still frowned upon in the black community not to go to college. I think it's completely insane to put kids in debt for an education that you're teaching them how to make $50,000 a year. Why the hell would I do that to somebody? But when you want everybody to conform the same way and be in debt and wake up every single day to go get a couple dollars to pay these bills, do this continuously until they die, well, you created a pretty good system. The system is working brilliantly. But again, I'm trying to shake it up a little bit. I'm trying to teach you guys how to think and operate a little bit differently. The more you can get an experience of doing something, the easier it gets. Go take an internship. Guys, if you got kids right now, don't allow them to do the ignorant stuff that you did. You need to require your children, if they in high school right now, they can get an internship. If you send them off to college, hey, when they come home for winter break and summer vacation, they need to be at an internship. Because the minute that they graduate with the degree and the experience, well, now they've 10x their revenue. Because they're not going to be at their job that long. That's the whole reason why they was doing the internship. The mind was going to unlock at some point. They need to be around and see how business operates. They need to get the experience of what success looks like, because they're not going to go intern for no mom and pop shop. You take their ass to intern at Amazon, Google, Microsoft, the NFL, things of that nature. People who are extremely successful. So now they can move 10 times faster. Because again, education is through experiences, not tests. You must be willing to self-educate yourself. I told you, once we got out of the weapons of mass instruction of the schooling system, you on your own now. Now, the beauty about this, guys, the reason that I was able to, learn so much information so fast and take action on the things that I was talking about is because of this. I self-educated myself at a level that most people wouldn't be willing to do. There was a website called edx.org. I tell people about this all the time. People just don't listen. I am Harvard and Yale certified. This is why I talk crazy. People like, Travis, you be saying anything out your mouth. Well, one, I done made enough money that can't nobody stop what I got created. Like, I can say anything out of my mouth. The businesses is going to operate because Travis ain't part of the businesses. I just moved the money of it. So you can't stop that. The next part is I'm just as educated as any person in any room. I don't care where you go sit me down at. I'm educated on it because I went to edx.org. edx.org. They got to deal with the government. Well, I don't want to say edX got to deal with the government. The government has some requirements with these PWI institutions that say, hey, look, everybody can't afford to go to your school, but what you do have to do is provide the education to the people for free. Will they get a degree? No. You can pay for a certificate of completion if you want to go that route. But I don't care. I don't need none of that. I needed to get myself self-taught on the information. Once I learned the information on edx.org, I immediately took it and put it into action because I told you experience is the education, not just reading stuff. Okay. edx.org can get everybody self-educated right now. The next thing that I did, what did I do? Started reading books. I keep trying to tell you guys, why did I start reading books? Because I couldn't afford a mentor. I couldn't afford these people's classes and courses. I couldn't afford to go to the conference. I ain't never have nobody around me teaching this stuff. I was hustling. I was trying to figure out how to make the next dollar. I didn't have the money set aside to even think that I need to get educated by anybody else outside of the schooling system because I was getting taught weapons of mass instruction. I had to break free from that. Well, here's the kicker. Since I didn't have the money to get to the conference, well, the same person wrote a book. I picked the book up, $20. You can't tell me that you ain't got $20. Hell, you can't tell me you don't have $100 to go get yourself 2, 3, 4, 5 books right now. If you do, you're lying and you don't want to better yourself. I can't do nothing to help you with that. But you're going to have to educate yourself. Now, I told you guys another kicker was, yes, I got the books and whatnot. But you have to take how you learned information and you got to apply it. So how did you learn information? You took your ass to school. You had a schedule. You knew every 90 minutes that bell was going to go off. Well, what did I do? I went to my phone and I set a schedule. I set an alarm that every 90 minutes, this bell needs to go off and my mind needs to put that down and transition to the next task. Now, what will happen? In school, they told us it took a quarter to learn the information. Now, I don't know if you guys are like me. I learned the information in about a week or two, but I had some crazy dumb students in my classroom that they was a little bit slow, playing around, laughing and whatnot, didn't pay attention. So it prolonged it. And we all had to follow the directions. Hell, the state even got instructions on how fast students should be learning information. And if a student learns information faster than everybody else, we'll put them in another classroom called the IB program, where people who think a little bit faster are right here and we can teach them a little bit more. If they learn information way, way, way too slow, well, we'll put them in another classroom and we'll say that they got a learning disability. But the people who can conform and learn information in the corner in every quarter. We'll stick them right here. Well, again, I'm taking the principles, but I'm not taking the time. So if you want to learn new information, you just got to schedule it out. You got to sit your ass down and focus at the time of scheduling. You got to put your cell phone away. You got to put the computer down. You can't allow for any distractions, just like you was in the classroom. And you need to focus for 90 minutes. When the alarm goes off, you need to put it down and switch subjects, because the mind can't keep learning more information. They already taught us the concept of how to learn things. Now, in order to learn this new subject, you got to do it every day. Again, it shouldn't take you a quarter. It may take you a couple weeks. It may take you a month. But if you consistently sit down and focus every day for 90 minutes on a subject, you have no choice but to learn it. Now, again, I told you focusing. Yeah, it's not just watching the videos. In that 90 minutes, you got to take action. What did we do in school? We went up to the board. We worked out problems, drawed it. Somebody would say yay, nay. They would give you an A through an F. Well, we ain't got that system right now. Your action is seeing, can I get the sale? Will people listen and respond to what I just said? That's how you confirm whether it works or not. But every day you got to work towards it. Until you get the results that you want, you shouldn't switch subjects. It's really this simple. And once you learn more information, you're going to be presented with a new problem, and we got to do it all over again. Eventually, you're going to graduate. How do you know when you graduate? When you got enough money. You know what I'm saying? The other thing, you got to learn useful things, man. You know, this new generation, you learning how to dance on TikTok, that shit ain't useful to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching people learning the dumbest stuff in the world. You have to learn how to get involved with useful things. You know, things that people will actually need. Maybe you learn some plumbing or electricity. Maybe you learn how to build the house. Maybe you learn AI or technology. But I'm trying to tell you, the stupid stuff that they teaching y'all on the internet right now, it just don't make sense. I got people up here, you know, it drives me crazy when I hear all these people talking about trust and family offices. God, you need to have millions of dollars before you start thinking. Don't nobody want your $10,000. Don't nobody want your $5,000. Ain't nobody coming for you with your $1,500 sitting in the bank account. You over here talking to me about trust. That ain't useful. You need to get better skills. These are things that are going to change your life. Now, how do I learn more useful things? Again, I said it earlier, and I'm going to keep repeating the same stuff over and over again. Books and podcasts is extremely, oh man, I love me a good podcast, guys. I listen to podcasts at least for 2 to 3 hours every day. So what do? Again, if you can learn a rap album in a week, it's the same technique. So I'm telling you right now, get rid of the rap music. It ain't going nowhere. There'll be another artist. Like, I don't know any of the new artists right now. I don't care. They don't pay me. Like, they don't know me. I could care less what's going on with an artist. People, like, I seen some stuff about Cardi B and Offset. People that ask me, I don't care. I had one of my young nieces. She was asking me about the new rappers and entertainers. I didn't know any of them. I don't know their name. I just don't care. Because what I learned to do, the skill set of me learning words through a rap music, I realized, well, wait a minute. What if I just take these words out of unuseful things and I replaced it with words of useful things that are sitting on podcasts, right? You don't have to watch the Pivot podcast. You don't have to watch Nightcap. I love me some Nightcap, by the way. You don't have to watch those. All of a sudden, you can listen to Motley Fools. You can listen to, Dave Ramsey. which I don't like all his principles, but hey, I don't care. He's teaching you guys how to build wealth. So if that's the route that you need to go in it. I could care less. Just listen to somebody that's doing better than you. And they're in the space that you want to be in. It will change your life. One of my number one challenges that I give to individuals is, will you replace the music that goes in your ear with podcasts? You should be doing this every day. If you don't have time to read, you can't tell me you ain't got time to listen to a podcast. It's just impossible. So when you say things like this, I know you don't want to do better. And the last thing, you guys can Google this, but you need to have a curriculum of one. I'm going to repeat this. You need to have a curriculum of one. What do I mean by a curriculum of one? You just need a curriculum for yourself. I didn't ask you to try to create a curriculum for nobody else. I didn't ask you to worry about what else the community is learning. I didn't ask you to worry about what your sister, brother, cousin, mother, daughter is listening to. I didn't ask you about none of that. I said you need to come up with a curriculum of one, because you're the only person that matters. If we can't get you right, you can't get nobody else right. So we're going to, again, focus on creating a curriculum for yourself and nobody else. If you can figure it out for yourself, then guess what? You start to share the strategies with other individuals. But until we get you right, you have no business talking to nobody else. All right. Now, before I continue on, again, make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, that subscribe button, that share button. We are talking about how to get rid of the weapons of mass instruction, okay? There's a book out there called that, Weapons of Mass Instruction. When I started to learn this information, it completely changed my thought pattern, the way that I seen things, and it allowed me to operate outside of the traditional education system. The traditional education system is one of the top things that I believe is harming our community. You cannot teach everybody how to think and operate the exact same way. That's what workers do. So if you want to be the entrepreneur and business owner that I know you are, because you're here on my channel and that's all that I talk about, again, I'm not trying to knock the workers. We do need them. The information that I'm sharing today is not going to interrupt the labor force. Don't nobody out there care about what I'm saying. So that's why I'm not worried about it. We will always be able to get workers. I'm talking to those individuals that are ready to take their life to the next level. If you are, well, again, go pick up the book, Weapons of Mass Instruction. You could go to travisknows.com. Again, that's Travis Knows, KNOWS.com. Scroll down to the bottom. You will see my reading list right there. Oh, that button worked. That's what I'm talking about. You will see that reading list right there, and you will see the book Weapons of Mass Instruction. I just programmed that button in there to put these comments up there. I got another button too that I'm gonna hit a little later, but whatever. We're about to dive back into here. Again, we're here live Tuesday through Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time zone. Tuesdays, we go over the mindset and business. Wednesday is government contracting. And Thursdays is some systems and tools to help you out with. Make sure that you continue to like, subscribe to the channel. We're continuing to grow. And it's because of each and every one of you guys sharing the videos out with every individual you know needs this help. Now, let's keep this party rolling. Now, I taught you how to build, or we were talking about building your own curriculum. So how do we go about building our own curriculum of wealth? Well, the first thing is we got to get some financial education. And again, it baffles me why the education system does not have financial education in it. But I would imagine, if they taught you financial education, then they couldn't keep you in debt. Because if they don't have debt, then no money's to be made. America loves debt, whether you know it or not. America is in debt. So they love to teach debt, but they don't love to teach you financial freedom, financial security. So you got to do this for yourself. Again, we're going to be creating a curriculum of one. Now, the thing about this whole financial education is everybody needs to see it through a different view. Some people need $100 million for the lifestyle that they want. Some people just need $1 million. Some people can survive off $500,000 because, they got farms and land and got their own chickens and garden and all that. They don't need what the people in the city needs. So this is why you have to create your own curriculum for your lifestyle. Because when we start learning about financial education, we need to seek the information from people who are living a lifestyle that we want to live so we can follow their financial principles. I told you, I don't like Dave Ramsey's methods, but there's some pretty damn good methods for the individuals who don't quite understand finances. How do I know? Because I started with Dave Ramsey. I did not understand finances. Once I started to learn more about finances and I made more money outside of the people that Dave Ramsey teach, I said, well, wait a minute. His principles don't quite work for me. Let me get better. Let me find somebody who says, screw Dave Ramsey's method. Well, it's a whole bunch of people. Next thing I realized, there's a whole new community of finances that think differently. I like it. Let me go seek that information. So when it comes to financial education, what are some things that we need to learn about? Well, we need to learn about investing. That's very important, whether, you want to be in the real estate, 401k, you want to invest in other businesses, you want to invest in REITs, you want to invest in options. Whatever it is for you, you need to figure out and educate yourself on investing. Another thing for financial education is you got to understand and learn cash flow. It's called a budget. You must learn how to budget. And the last thing when it comes to financial education, this may be the biggest, but if we can't get them other two right, this last one ain't going to quite make sense to us. And that is taxes. A lot of people yell at me. It's crazy how I lost friends because of a vote that I made for back in the day when Obama was first going. I ain't really like, what he was talking about. And the reason that I didn't like it is because I was making more money and I started to understand taxes. And according to what he was talking about, my ass was about to get taxed. I told you I got a curriculum of one. I'm not worried about everybody else. I can't help nobody until I get myself straight. But once I started learning taxes, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm trying to climb up the ladder. Everybody on the internet talking about the billionaires get taxed, but the code is harming me, not the billionaire. You have to learn about taxes. It will be your largest expense outside of education. Education will be your largest expense. And I ain't talking about college education. I'm saying education is your largest expense because if you don't put money in it, you're just going to stay dumb. So we got to continue to educate ourselves because if you don't educate yourself in finances, well, guess what? You can't make $2, $3, $4 million. It's impossible because you never got educated in it. Your lack of education is your top expense is what I'm trying to tell you. After that is taxes. So we got to get educated on this. The next thing. After taxes come in that we need to get educated on this. Hopefully you guys are picking up something. Matter of fact, before I go to the next thing, drop a fire emoji down in the comments if you guys are starting to pick up anything that I'm putting down. If this stuff is making just a little bit of sense to you, drop a fire emoji down there in the chat. That's the only way that I know that you guys are understanding the information that I am providing to you guys tonight. If not, I feel like I ain't doing a good job in teaching y'all no information. You know what I'm saying? The next thing is you have to learn entrepreneurship. I done told you guys before. They're teaching you how to go to work versus creating. I can't become a creator working all my life. I can become a creator being an entrepreneur. So what's involved with entrepreneurship? Again, these are the classes that you should be setting up for yourself, that you put that timer on and you take yourself back to school. And you the only principal. You the only teacher. You got to control yourself. I know it's going to be days I don't feel like hearing that. I done heard, Travis, I got a family and kids. I don't give a damn. I done heard, Travis, my family, I got to take care of that. I don't care. Do you want to become a better person or not is the question. If you do, well, guess what? We all got different things going on in our life. You're going to have to do a thing called sacrifice. I don't know what it is that you're going to have to sacrifice. Hopefully it's not a lot, but if it is, it's still on you. Are you going to sacrifice or not? Entrepreneurship. You must learn how to sell. There's another book that I love how to sell. I told you guys to go to my YouTube channel, watch my pricing video that I got on there, and it will teach you a little bit about selling. But a book that I love, I told y'all too. When you go to travisknows.com, go down to my reading list, you'll see every book that has educated me. Okay? A book that I love to teach me about sales is Let's Get Real or Let's Not Play. I was undervaluing myself until I read that book. And that book also has drills in there that you need to practice. Look in the mirror. That's what I did. I practiced with myself to build the confidence up. And then I went knocking door to door and built my confidence up even more. Of course, they shut in my face and whatnot, but I kept trying to practice the techniques of sales. If you do this consistently for 2 weeks, you'll know sales in no time. How do you measure you know sales? If you got to sell. It's that simple. Marketing. You have to learn marketing. If you don't know how to get people to see you, hear you, view you, well, you can't sell nothing. Leadership. You shouldn't be doing this thing by yourself. When you get started, you're probably going to be by yourself. But remember, we're building wealth right here. We have to be able to lead the herd. If you don't know how to lead a herd, well, again, your business is going to crash and crumble, or you're going to exhaust yourself out because you can't get anybody else to help you out. And last thing in entrepreneurship, which I believe is one of the most valuable, is communication and networking. You have to learn how to talk in rooms. You can't, guys, I don't know about other races, okay? I can only talk about the race that I'm involved around. If I hear my black people tell me one more time I shouldn't have to talk like that, I'm not here to. If you go into a room that you do not own, you may have to conform to the way that the room operates if you seek something out of that room. Because nobody has to listen to you. Don't nobody care what your feelings are about a certain situation. So if you have such a strong opinion or feeling because somebody is of this political party versus that political party, don't take your ass into the room. Because all you're going to do is embarrass yourself out of the lack of learning how to communicate and network properly. You communicating and networking will change your life in the next 30 days if you stay consistent. It's the easiest path to success. You just need one person to change your life. You don't need 1,000. But if you don't know how to talk and find that one person, then chances are you're going to stay broke just like everybody else. And I know this stuff be hurting some people's feelings. They get upset when I say it, but I don't know any other way to do it. The next thing that you need to educate yourself on is self-development. You have to learn. You have to be willing to learn to become a better person mentally. This mind has got to get worked on. You got to learn how to think differently. You got to learn how not to get emotional. You got to learn how to bite your tongue in certain situations. You need to learn conflict resolution. These are things that the school system did not teach you. But if you're trying to excel rapidly, we got to get educated in these type of things. Do you guys ever see politicians? And I love this, guys. You know, granted, I'm living in Washington, D.C., so it may help out a little bit better when it comes to this education. But tell me yay or nay in the comments if you've ever seen this with politicians on TV. You will see another politician curse another politician out, talk about them like they the raggediest dogs in the street. And then once the meeting adjourns, you guys don't get to see this part. They just go shake hands, break bread, go out and eat and have a good time like nothing was ever said about anybody else. That's conflict resolution. They understand how to talk in certain situations. And then when it's like a football game. I can do whatever the hell I want in between them lines. I mean, I can paralyze a person in between them. Like, I can do whatever I please as long as the game is going on. But the minute the game is off, like, hey, yo, we cool. You my friend. I ain't got no problem with you. But when we on that field, I'm here to thrash you. This is the same thing that happens in politics. And it's because they've invested in their self-development. This is what I need you guys to do. It's not hard, but it does take you consistently practicing self-development. It's not something that you can do overnight. And the last thing that you need to put into your curriculum of one is health. Guys, don't nobody like doing business with people that sound like they about to die. I hate to be that harsh, but I can't invest $5 million into you to work with me, and I don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. Now, of course, there's some people that, they're an anomaly, but for the most part, when we're starting to talk about large money, if you don't look healthy, I can't do deals with you. If you don't look healthy standing on a stage talking to an audience, well, they don't believe in you either. It's no point of trying to make all of this money and get all this freedom, and you ain't going to be around to see it. But here's the other kicker. The same principles that it take to get healthy is the same principles that it take to get wealthy. So if you can become wealthy, you have no choice but to know how to become healthy. If you can become healthy, you have no choice but to know how to become wealthy. They run hand in hand. They take focus and dedication, and you got to consistently do it over and over and over again. Understanding that you will get small results daily that will lead towards a bigger goal if you stay consistent. This is the curriculum of one that you need. Y'all may need to save this time frame, go back and listen to this portion of the video to figure out how to build your curriculum of one, but you don't have to start it all at one time. Again, it's just like the school system, the weapons of mass instruction. We need to create a curriculum for ourselves, because you won't learn it all overnight. But if you have the curriculum for yourself and then you schedule this bad boy out of how you're going to learn the information, in no time, you will be smarter than your peers. And this ain't me talking emotional about it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The next thing is I need you to rethink success in the way that you measure value. If you're not willing to do this, guys, self-doubt is going to come in because you're not going to think that you're moving the needle. And again, it's because of this education system. Do you realize what do they do in the education system? Matter of fact, let me ask you guys, what do they do in the education system to evaluate your success? How do they show you whether you're successful or not in the education system? Put it in the comments. In the meantime, guys, if you're on Instagram listening, you guys are about to get cut off. If you click the link in my bio, click on the YouTube logo, you'll be able to come here and continue to view this on live. But just again, you guys will be cut off at 9:30 on Instagram, just FYI. Don't forget, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, that subscribe button, share this video out with 3 other entrepreneurs and business owners so they can level themselves up as well and get from under those weapons of mass instruction. Yes, you got it right. The grading point system. A through F. I think they got E now or something like that. I can't remember. Something crazy my nephew was showing me. I just scratched my head on it. It's all a bunch of malarkey to me. So I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? But hey, he's in school. I'm not. So, he got to go through whatever they tell him to do. Ain't that crazy though? You got to do what they tell you to do. Well, here's how we're going to grade ourselves moving forward. We're going to grade ourselves based off the control of your time. But can you wake up today and do whatever you want to? Like tomorrow when you wake up, can you do whatever you want to do tomorrow? Like, can you tell somebody no? At a job, you can't call your boss and no, I'm not coming to work today. You're going to get your ass fired. What you got, about 2-3 times that you can pull that off? Right? So when I'm saying measure, how do you measure your success? It has everything to do with your time. Do you have time to be with your kids? Can you show up at their sporting events at the time that it starts and stay till it ends? Can you be at your baby girl's recitals that I know you probably don't want to be at? Because I don't be wanting to be at my nieces. You know, maybe when I get kids, my mindset will change, but the shit's boring to me. Okay? But I got the time. That's what I'm saying. I got the time to decide what I'll do and what I don't want to do. Now, I'll tell you the ultimate measure of success with time is how far ahead can you live? And what do I mean by this? If I was to, I don't know, break my legs today, can I afford to be out for 10 months? Like, will my systems and stuff just run for me and generate me revenue that I could sit down and heal for 10 months and not think about absolutely anything, knowing that I got enough money? My system that I've created is just going to keep supplying this resource that allows me to get my time back. Only entrepreneurship can do this. If you stay at work, the only time freedom that they show you that you can have, again, this is weapons of mass instruction. They teach it to you in the schooling system. They teach this thing called retirement. I don't know why age and retirement go together. It's the craziest thing in the world to me. I do not know how age and retirement go together. You cannot tell me that I can't retire and enjoy my time to do whatever I want to do until I'm 64, 65, 66. I don't even know the retirement age. That's how much I don't care about the age. But they instill everybody that you need to keep working until you retire, when retirement has everything to do with how much money do you have to supply the time that you need on this earth. So again, I told you some people can live with $50,000 a year. And hey, if you make $50,000 a year and you live off it, you're really living off about $25,000 a year, whether you know it or not. So some people can live off of that. So if I was to put $1 million in their pocket and they're living off $25,000, they should be able to live for the rest of their life until they tap out. That's measuring time. That's why you got to learn finances, budgeting, and things of that nature. So we can now say, okay, I've made this amount of money. The budget of my life cost me $100,000. This is how far ahead I have control of my time. It's this simple, guys. And I know when I say it's this simple, it's probably some people like, Travis, you just saying it because it's that easy, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm saying it like this because I did it. I was broke as hell too. Tell me the next story. My mother was working 2 jobs too. Tell me another story. Nobody cares. The next thing you need to do is you got to be able to show value. I say show value. You have to be able to work on your relationships. If you do not work on your relationships, you will not build a wealth system. Your relationships will be able to measure how good you're doing. And this could be your family, friends, loved ones, employees. The whole nine. You must better your relationships to get the success that you want. This is why you must get out there networking, talking, communicating, shaking hands and kissing babies. Because those are just all relationships. When people tell me, oh, well, Travis, I'm an introvert. Y'all just don't know how angry I get. I be wanting to just slap people when you say that. You know why you an introvert? Because the education system taught you this word called introvert. And then all of a sudden you got to put yourself in a category because America loves categories. Look, the people in America, if you don't have something in a category, then you're different. And anytime you're different, in America, you're frowned upon. Why? Because of weapons of mass instruction that taught everybody to conform one way. We do not have to do that. You want to build strong relationships. Again, your loved ones, we need to work on that. Because I'm telling you right now, You can't go out into the streets, into this nasty business world, and then also come back home and deal with a nasty home. It just won't work out like that. Your relationship with your children, they need to learn how to respect money just like you need to learn how to respect money. So maybe y'all do it together depending on the age. It's okay. It's okay if your kids are learning at the same time that you're learning. Perfectly fine. Your parents. Now, I don't have the best relationship with my father. We probably ain't never going to fix that relationship. But I'm making our relationship with my mother a whole lot stronger. Friends. Guys, that may be one of the most important things. You learn a lot of information from your friends in your circle around you. These are the people that you confide in. You have to make sure that you got the right friends, though. If you need to cut some friends off today, that's okay, too. If you let your friends know, hey, look, man, I'm going down this path of creating this curriculum of one. It's going to take me focusing for the next 6 months. I got to put my head into the books and, I got to turn off distractions. So, I may not be available to hang out and do things of that nature for the next 6 months like I used to. If the friend got a problem with that, they ain't really a friend of yours. If the friend supports you and say, hey, man, if you need anything, my number's here. I'm still going to be available for you. Well, that's a friend that you may want to keep. If it's a friend that says, hey, I'm interested and I want to do it with you too, well, you damn right. That's a friend that you need to hold on to tight. Because they're starting to understand at the age that you at, we all need change. Right? So work on those relationships. And then, of course, strangers. We got to have relationships with strangers. The strangers is what's going to set you free. And last but not least, guys, and then we're going to get ready to get out of here, is your systems. I can measure your wealth based off your systems. Again, did you create something that will generate revenue for you while you're asleep? This could be investing. Investments do this. Again, real estate, stocks, businesses. These are all systems that you can invest into, and it could just generate you revenue. You could build your own system. We have a very, very, very good system that you can work with. SB Money Flow. Oh, you see how my buttons is working? SB Money Flow. It's a system that you can build so you can have your operations running with automation. Now you can go to sleep knowing that people can check out, knowing that they're going to get the email once they check out, knowing that things are going to happen whether you're there or not. But if you don't have no system in place, I already know what's going on. You're stuck in the weapons of mass destruction. It's nothing that you could do to get free. You're not even trying. And that's okay. Again, everybody don't need to listen to what I'm saying. My channel ain't for everybody. I'm not knocking anybody because everybody has their own path. My channel is for the individual that's trying to take themselves to another level that they couldn't even believe. They may have seen a dream of it, but they can't believe because they keep talking to people who don't think like them, who didn't have the dream too. I'm telling you, I've had the dream already. I've walked through the dream already. I went through all the trials of the dream and I made it out on the other end. So if you tell me you got a dream and you're willing to put in the work, well, I can help you execute. Only because I've already walked through it. It's nothing that you could tell me at your level that I haven't experienced or my network hasn't experienced. Because everything repeats itself. And until you release yourself from the weapons of mass destruction, you won't be able to experience that life of freedom that you know you deserve, I know you deserve, and that the man upstairs put you on this earth for. Instead, you're going to be stuck in the system. So again, guys, I hope that you guys got some valuable information out of this. About to roll in here into the chat. Drop a fire emoji down there in the chat if you guys picked up anything that I put down today. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys continuing to rock out with me, hang out in the channel. We're continuing to grow because of each and every one of you guys. It's amazing how many kids, let me see this. Oh, matter of fact, I got to change this real quick. What's this say? It's amazing how many kids have an entrepreneur mindset if you show them many problems and simply waiting for someone to solve them. $1 can be made for any problem you solve. You ain't never lied. It's from it's from how well you solve them. We don't teach this in school. That is correct. And you know, I love that you said most kids have an entrepreneurial mindset. They do. It's the parents that rip it from them. The parents rip it from them because when the kid come in the house talking that entrepreneurship that the parents didn't understand, or when they were kids talking that entrepreneurship, their parents told them to shut up and do that schoolwork. You better have that homework done. That ain't what the class was talking about. Yeah, but the kid was telling you when they was in that classroom, something came into their mind. This thought, this idea, this creation came into their mind and they tried to express it to you. But since you were raised in the weapons of mass instruction and you were too scared to think outside of the box, you ripped that away from your child. And then you allowed them to go to school where they ripped it away too. And now the child all of a sudden starts to conform and say, my creations, my ideas, my thoughts, they ain't right. And that just ain't true. The system ain't right. I know I can be going on these tangents all day long, guys. And I can only do this because, hey, the stuff I'm talking about, I really walked it. I don't know how to talk about anything else. I can't talk about stuff that other people have done. This is also, somebody asked me why I don't bring people on my channel, because they be lying. And I ain't got no way to validate whether they be lying or not. I know everything that I walked through and what I had to go through. I know the people that were a part of my education system. I don't want to say there was a part of my success because I did all this shit by myself. But was it people that educated me along the way? Was it people? Look, and when I say educated, even when it comes to health, I had an uncle that always called me fat. I needed to hear that. Every time he see me, I needed to hear it so I could get my fat ass out there and run and change the way I looked. Instead of saying, you shouldn't be able to talk to me like that. No, I had people like that a part of my life. Everybody can't take it like that, though. I'm a football player. You got to talk to me a little crazy every now and then. What's some strategic sourcing strategies that work for you early on? Because I keep getting outbidded. I need to find low competition when there's a lot of manufacturing and bidding on some RFQs. But one, you may need to look into another industry, or you may be chasing money, which is also a lot of people's problems, which, you know, I always compare it like the drug game. Why would Pablo give you the best deal and he don't know who you is? So chances are that you're getting the worst deals because don't nobody know you. So if you stay in your lane, in your industry, you can start shaking hands. I told you, networking and communicating. You can start shaking hands and kissing babies with people in the industry. They can start to recognize you more because you keep showing up. And then maybe you'll get closer to Pablo to get better pricing. But outside of that, I'm always looking for strategy. Strategy is the way that I do government contracting. So I'll look in areas. Again, I spend more time on research probably than anybody else. But I'll look for areas of lowest competition. Like, why the hell I want to compete? I don't like competing. That's what these fools on the internet be talking about, because they don't really live that type of life. In government contracting, I mean, you compete when you got money. In the beginning, the goal is not to be compete. So I'm looking for things that I don't got to compete. And that's going on research, and you can look at previously awarded opportunities and you can get an idea like, okay, well, if only one person responded to this previously, if I respond to it, it should be two. So that's a 50% chance of me winning. I like that. Or I may see an opportunity with new money, so infrastructure money or something of that nature, or the CHIPS Act and stuff like that, where you can say, hold on, well, wait a minute, you got $3 million sitting over here. I'm a part of the 8A program. I see you got a problem. You can directly award it to me. And we don't have to go through all that. That's how I actually got my $5 million air contract. Strategy. And I don't know anything about air. Don't need to. Oh, let me see. Relationship health is a barometer for your success in life. Yep. In business, personal, and if you're religious. Look, I didn't want to touch on it, but I think everybody should believe in a higher power. I don't really care what you call them. I'm not here to be anybody's judge, jury, or executioner, but you better believe in somebody higher than you. You better believe that somebody put you on this earth for a reason, and that's why you here, to walk through what they got you here for. Now, do you got to find it and figure it out? Yes, that's the beauty of life. You wake up every day. You should be waking up every day trying to figure out what was that purpose. I don't know what it was, but I knew one thing. If your ass in debt, you ain't never going to find that purpose. So this is why I'm trying to teach y'all how to make more money faster so you can get away from the shackles of the weapons of mass instruction and you could be free. So now you can do whatever it is that the man upstairs put you on this earth for. I don't know what it is. It could be whatever you want it to be too. Look, I'm not here to be anybody's judge, jury, and execution. That's what he gonna tell you when you meet him. And we all gonna meet him one day. I just hope it ain't no time soon for me. I'm trying to prolong my meeting as long as possible, but I know it's coming. Which that brings in a whole nother strategy. When y'all put that financial piece in your curriculum, I want y'all to make sure y'all put this in it: life insurance. I'm going to say this again. When you put that curriculum of one in there and you get to the financial side, you need to start looking at life insurance. Now, I ain't tell you go buy none. Maybe we got to get our dollars up and get our budget right to understand how much we can put towards life insurance. But guys, the reason I'm stressing this is because we all going to go meet the man upstairs one day. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if you truly want to create the wealth for your family, life insurance is going to be a great tool that you can create significant wealth very fast. And if you get smart and you get yourself really, really educated, you'll have a trust with the life insurance policy in it. And when you do this correctly, the life insurance policies will fund a trust for the rest of your life. Because you'll have rules in there that says anybody who's a part of this trust must get a life insurance policy. So you should get like 100-year trust for your family, right? So what'll end up happening is you should die before everybody else. Well, when you die, you should get millions of dollars that go to your trust, not to your people. It's going to go to the trust. The trust will then have rules that you create of how the money will get distributed. But part of the rules that you're going to write in that trust. Now, again, this is just me. This is on some next level shit that I'm teaching y'all about right here. This is just what I'm doing. Everybody ain't got to do this, but I found a loophole in the system. So when I pass away, that money's going to come into the trust. I got rules in there that says, hey, any new child. So, when my children have grandchildren and my grandchildren have grandchildren, because this is a 100-year trust, anybody new, you must put a life insurance policy on them. I think it's like 3 days or something after they're born. I forget what the limit is. I got to talk to my person. But whatever the limit is of how many days they got to be born before they can get a life insurance policy, we're getting it. And the reason why is because I don't know when the man upstairs is going to take anybody, but I know he's coming to take everybody. So now all of a sudden, if done correctly, when I tap out, when my kids' mothers tap out, they now got millions of dollars from each policy. When my kids tap out, well, they got millions of dollars of each policy that keeps going back to the trust. So we don't got to pay taxes and any of that stuff. And it's being distributed out to the family. And if you keep this rolling, you should have easily over $100 million trust when your grandchildren come to get into it. Because these life insurance policies, they're just going to keep coming. And now when your kids need money, when you're alive and the kids need money, guess what you're going to do? you're going to take it from the life insurance policy. And you may be saying, Travis, why would I take it from the life insurance policy? Because you're never going to pay the money back. So if you got a life insurance policy that got a face value of $150,000 and your kids say, well, Dad, I need a loan for a car for $20,000, you're going to give them the $20,000 out of the life insurance policy, and you're never going to pay the $20,000 back to the life insurance policy. Why are you never going to pay the $20,000 back to the life insurance policy? Because somebody's going to die that's in the trust. And when they die, you then take that money and pay back the life insurance policy, and then you just you keep the money rolling. And now we can truly be trust babies. But that's a whole nother level right there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody make more money first and you will get yourself to that level. Trust me, because I didn't think about none of this stuff when I was broke. I really don't even want you to take yourself to that level. Know about it, hear about it, understand that it's a possibility there. But the first task is we got to make more money faster. Don't none of this stuff work that I'm talking about if you don't have some type of system that's going to cash flow this money coming in. Because I can't afford you to go down that financial lane, with $200 every month and you living $200 to $200. That ain't going to work for what we talking about right here. We talking about building wealth, baby. We ain't over here talking about playing with a couple dollars. We want everybody to be millionaires over here. That's the only thing that I can talk about. I don't want to teach y'all how to make $10,000 here, $10,000 there. I want to teach y'all how to become millionaires, because millionaires is what changes communities. And each and every one of you guys got the power to do it, because you got a brain right here and you could think for yourself. I just need you to get away from these weapons of mass instructions. Don't forget, guys, visit travisknows.com. Once again, travisknows.com. You can go there, go to the bottom. You will see my reading list. Grab the book, Weapons of Mass Instruction. That's what we went over here today. That's what taught me how to stop thinking the way that the education system taught me. And it literally unleashed my success in just under a year. Once again, these are things that can happen to you as well. When you're there too, go ahead and join our community. Click on our community tab. You can join it completely for free. You'll see some amazing individuals in there, like my guy Courtney right here, one of the admins in the group. You'll see him here on the channel Mondays at 7 p.m. We got some other amazing people like my guy Timothy. He's located in there. I don't see Vaughn on here today. He's in there as well. We got Lewis. I believe he's in there too. So make sure that you guys check them out. And we got another admin. I was trying to see Deshanti. She's not up here. You guys will see Deshanti in there, and you will see Simone in our group as well. Those are our other two admins. Make sure y'all go in there and show them some love when you get into the group. They're just as resourceful as I am. Okay, so make sure that you guys are tapping into them. They got some amazing goodies inside of our group that you could take advantage of. And again, ask some questions so they can assist you as well. Outside of that, that's all that I got for you guys tonight. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this information. We will be back here tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. going over government contracting. I will give a heads up. I will not be available this Thursday. I got to run down to Virginia State for some homecoming stuff that's going on. So I got to get out there Thursday and make that happen. So we won't be here Thursday, but we will be right back here tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I love you all. I hope that you enjoy your night. Don't forget, guys, this will go off when the music goes off. I love you. Talk with you tomorrow.
It's just different. Yeah. You already know what it is. Pure money, baby. I keep a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Come and hang with the gang. Get some free game added to your mainframe. Gotta keep your mind sharp, you gotta maintain. And it's even better when the squad on the same thing. Steady swishing on the competition. Swish. We ain't tripping about the opposition. We on a mission and we got a vision. People in need, we believe we got it like I keep a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. Said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money. Been slept on, money never stepped on. We increasing positivity until the stress gone. Satan tried to hold the squad back, but we kept on. We ain't making this up, no Revlon. I ain't trying to make you blush, but this a highlight. We send the high vibes, homie, this a high life. We rising far above the game, that's a flyby. But we still connected to the source, that's that Wi-Fi. Reception, now we answer the call. This squad taking questions and we answer them all. We don't wanna see you fall, we wanna see you ball. We all gon' feed with the peeps, we gon' feed them all. Couple in the bag, homie,